knowledge that we can leave for the next generations. So today's series will start with Americo's presentation. We'll have some breaks, some practical application to the teachings. We also will touch the introduction to the Feng Shui and astrology, and then we'll move on from, as the day goes. So feelings are welcome, and let's begin.
So first we'll start with some basic notions about Taoist cosmology. For me, Taoist and Taoism is very special because the ancient masters focus more on the pillars, on the matrix of the manifestations and the events, more than on the differences between the 10,000 manifestations. Nowadays, I think that knowledge is very welcome because we tend to lose track and waste too much time in seeing the differences between each flower of a tree. And when we arrived to the last one, we forgot what we learned in the first one. So Taoists focus themselves more on the trunk of the tree and roots and the main branches, because from there all the 10,000 manifestations occur. So the beginning is the Wu Ji. The Wu Ji is the supreme vacuity. Taoism and Taoists pay lots of attention to the void, to the vacuity, because it is where all things happened. So if this class was full of people, we couldn't be here doing what we are going to do. If the cup was empty, if the cup wasn't empty, we could not pour water to drink. So the Wu Ji, the supreme vacuity, is the place where and when everything can happen. We say that is a place without time, a place without space, without minutes, without movement. Okay? And it's there that we shall return someday. From that state of void is where things can happen. In the Tao Te Ching, sorry if I'm not saying correctly. when there are no Chinese speakers, we can say whatever. He knows a lot. And when Chinese speakers are around, even a word can drain. So use the clay to mold the vase, but it is in its hollow interior that the vase becomes useful. Okay, like this living room, like a house, like a cup. Therefore, although the self means important, it is the non-self that becomes truly decisive. We tend to focus too much in gather information, in gather things, in gather knowledges, and we forgot to let those knowledges settle and become ourselves. So from that unique origin is where things all manifest. Okay? The principle, the axiom that it's present in everything from here to here, from the plant to a person, from the computer even, or a flower, is Qi. Okay? Qi, energy. Qi, life force energy. Is the whole universe is made out of this energy. Okay? It's that energy that allows things to happen, to manifest, to be born, to be different, to be special, to be unique. It's the combination of the Qi with the other realms that makes each of the manifestations unique and precise. when the energy gathers, matter appears, happens. Okay? When mommy and daddy gathered, we appeared. When energy disperses, matter disappears. So from the moment that we are manifested in this life form, we are already dispersing. And once we die, we disperse completely. The soul goes to a place, the body goes to another. Okay? But it's transitory. Chi is always there. The form is transitory. The form is bound to time and space, but Chi is boundless. Okay? For me, this is the most important slide of the whole presentation. Okay? On the second sheet, you can see it in the middle. The energy has several, not so many because it's everywhere, but Chi is in perpetual motion. Chi has to be in perpetual motion because Chi is energy, is motion. It's always in constant birth and transformation. And like I said before, Chi is the axiom, the intermediary of all manifestations. I love this slide or this image so much because I've been learning so much from it. So we are more or less in this part of the energy gathering, going into the winter. Okay? But this happens when we are going from autumn, contraction, to gathering in winter. Most part of human beings just do this cycle once in their lifetime. That's why we get sick soon. That's why we die awfully. And that's why we suffer so much. Because normally when we get born, we expand like a child. And then like a teenager, and then like a young adult, where everything is wonderful and we feel like we can do everything with our lives. And then comes the middle age, and when we become older and we die. Normal people, the most part of the people, just do this cycle once a lifetime. But my proposal is that you do this cycle each year. Each year you expand, but each year you contract. Each year you mature, but each year you concentrate, focus and gather. If you start to do this around the year, you can even do this within the day. Because we cannot think and believe that we are a part of nature. We cannot behave the same way when we are a child or when we are a young adult. We cannot behave the same way in winter than in summer. Follow me? We cannot behave the same way when it's windy in spring or when it's dry in autumn. So my proposal is that you try to expand and contract, expand and contract, expand and contract, expand and contract differently within the year, within the day, and within mental processes. That way, you are following the energy flow That way you will be immortal. We cannot be immortal because we tend to give it all, to want it all, to go beyond our limits. And then we crack. And the only way we can learn is to fall and die. But if we fall and die and we are rebirthed and mature more frequently, you can recycle the energy instead of wasting the energy and collapsing. Okay? Let's move forward, because we could spend all day with this one. we could. So yin yang, Tai Chi, the surfer's logo. Tai Chi is the blend, is the mix, is the dance between yang and yin. Yang, I'm learning yang and yin. So that way, there's a part in your day that you should be more yang, the part of your day that you should more yin, the part of the year that you should be more yang, the part of the year that you should be more yin. Part of the mental process that you should be more yang, and another that you should be more yin. That way, energy will dance, will flow, energy will make love, and will recipher, will transform, will give birth to the other facet, the other pole. Yang, we associate yang to sun, to activity, to male, to function. Very important, because each organ has a yang side that is the function, and the yin side that is the shape or the structure. I can have two bolsters, one more strong, more perfect, and more durable than the other. But if I use this oftenly, and many people come and use the same bolster, although the structure is more strong, more well designed, more well manufactured, because of excess of yang, the structure will perish. And I can have a bolster made of paper over there. If nobody uses it, it will last more than this one. So each time you use, you are consuming. Like if you have to keep yourself warm and the house warm during the night, and you put all the woods, all the bricks of wood inside a fire pit, at 1 a.m. you will start to feel chilly because you burned all the form, the matter. Yang is also in expansion, heat. Yin is also collection, recollection, and cold. In terms of organs, the main organs are considered yin. That's why they are so precious. They are so precious that nature protected them with the chest cavity. The viscera are not so important, although they are, but they are not so, but they are. That they are not protected so much as the organs, okay? Heart is protected by the sternum. It's so important that it's protected by the sternum. Lungs are protected, liver, gallbladder, spleen, pancreas, stomach. Even the kidneys are protected by these ribs that are floating. They stop existing, the ribs here, because they don't need to protect. But the energy, the nature, find a way to protect the kidneys with those extra ribs. You can see how intelligent energy is and life is. Yang, yin. So this dance happens because they have mutual support. Yin supports yang, yang supports yin. But they limit each other. They limit each other because when a facet, when a pole, when a side of the energy grows so much, it appears the root, the seed of the other pole. And the expansion or the limit needs to be overcome with a different pole, like night and day. In autumn, nights are getting bigger. In winter, nights are the biggest. So you should rest more in winter time. Okay? They intertransform into each other, and then they divide themselves in endlessly. So even within the yang, you have yin. Even within the yin, you have yin. Even within the bolster, you have the structure and the function. But within the structure, that is the yin side of the bolster, you have yin parts and yang parts. It's a question of perspective. Okay? If you look further and if you look smaller, you will always encounter yin-yang. And you always get the notion of space and that the chi is the most important thing within. That's why nowadays these things are merging with quantum physics and things like that, because how long you can go further into matter or into space, you see that the axiom of everything is chi. They cannot exist separately. Okay? There's no yin without yang, and vice versa. Okay? And they are always relative. It depends what you are trying to classify. It's so well done that although we think it's not like that, it is like that. It's in summertime where the earth is more far from the sun. And it is on winter that happens the other. When we say that winter is coming, actually is not the winter is not coming. When we say that the winter is coming, it is in fact the apex of the winter. It is the highest point of the winter. Because when we say the winter is coming, the days are gradually start to grow 1 minute per day. That's why me and Aelita decided to give this workshop now. Because in a few weeks, the winter will start to arrive. And on the 21st of December, it's not when the winter arrives, it's the peak of the winter. Okay? So we try to go more with the flow of the sun, of the moon, of the stars, of nature. In everything that we do. The way we feed, the way we rest, the way we bathe, the way we exercise, the way we dress, the way we behave. This is the main four manifestations of Qi. The Yang, the Tai Yang, the Yang Yin, and now we are going to the Great or Tai Yin. So in the next months, in order to become more wealth and healthy, we need to store, to seal, to gather, to be silent, to cultivate more moments of stillness, of silence. That way, we'll be more in touch with ourselves, and it will be more easy to eliminate things from our house, from our shelves, from our organism, from our body. We will encounter for sure fear, because we have fear of letting go. I'm going to hold on to these pair of shoes because maybe I can use them next year. But it has been 3 years that you don't use those pair of shoes. But maybe I can need them next year. Okay? But the other side of fear is courage. When you have the ability to face your fear, you will have the opportunity to find courage. And I guarantee you, behind your biggest fears are your biggest superpowers. Because human beings are with lots of potential and lots of things that even we cannot understand why we are limits. We have limits. We are bounded to our senses. So we cannot see the truth. We cannot see the unlimited that we are. We just can do that when we go to the cliff and we look to the other side. Don't jump. Wait. I'm just not promising you. I'm just encouraging you to go to near the cliff and just see what's there. If you want to go down and you don't have a special suit, don't jump, but try to see a way to get down from the cliff, or if there is a near airport or somebody that can help you to go down. If you look and you like what you look, try to find a way to look down and to go down. So the idea is that, the idea for the next months is to seal, to store, to gather. In nature, from the sky, we receive the 6 energies: wind, heat, fire, damp, dry, and cold. These next months will be dry and will be cold gradually. These energies from the sky complete themselves with the 5 movements or the 5 tastes that are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Okay? We are approaching cold days and watery days. Maybe not in California, but we would like to be that way because it's the season of water. And human beings are a result of that. Human beings are a result of that. If you were born in a cold place, your nose will be narrow because you need to warm the air that enters through your nose. If you were born in a country that is hot, your nose will be wider because you need to refresh the nose. Things like that, okay? Now we are all in the mixing pot and people from the cold come to the wet and blah, 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 blah. But in terms of races, it's what happens. You are a result of where you live. You are of the result of the way the sun shines. You are a result of the weather conditions, of the geography. If you live near the plains, you tend to have a wider perspective of life. If you live within the mountains, your perspective of life is more shortened. You understand? So, Wu Jing, the 5. Don't worry. Don't worry. It happens. Cold is generated from the sky. Let's go to the second sheet. Normally, the cold from the sky comes from the north. That energy of the cold affects the earth and corresponds to water element. Okay? The water element is related to dark and black colors. Although when you are sick from your kidneys, you should avoid black. Okay? You should prefer blue, dark blue. that is not in the text, it's a good hint to write it down. The salty is the taste, and that salt, those minerals, generate the kidneys and activate the kidneys. So every time that you take salt, savory foods, you are stimulating the kidneys. If you over-stimulate your body with salt, you will damage your kidneys. It will wreck the balance between sodium and potassium. In the human body, the water is associated with the kidneys, the urinary bladder, and the bones. So each time that you work with your kidneys, each time that you work with your urinary bladder, and each time that you work with your bones, you are strengthening the water element. And you are strengthening the ecosystem of the water. So the 3 months of winter are the season of shutting and storage. The rivers are covered with ice, and the fields are frosted and cracked. All grasses and most part of the trees wither. The insects are in hibernation. So life continues to happen and continues to manifestate, but within. The tree doesn't have the strength enough to continue to flourish or to give fruits, but its energy is within the trunk, within the roots. The activity is happening, but within, not so much for the outside, not so much for the others, but for yourself. Don't disrupt the yang qi in this season. What does it mean? Okay, it's cold, but I'm not cold, and I wear t-shirt. I'm not aware of it, but my body is wasting energy to keep me warm because I want to take this special that I love t-shirt to this event. Okay? The body, the spirit is very wise and he tries to keep up with your decisions. But if you want to dress yourself accordingly, you will choose a proper clothes to protect yourself. That way you will not waste energy or yang qi, that is function, the function of keeping your body warm. Retrieve to your quarters with the sunset, difficult. And get up bed after the sun has risen, even difficult. But the trend and the goal is that you rest more, that you spend more time within, that you spend more time with inner activities. That way you will be nourishing your center. You will be nourishing from within. You will be cultivating the yin aspect of your body. Okay? We will talk about rest later on. Avoid cold and keep warm. Okay? Don't let your skin perspire to prevent the collective yang qi from being affected. So if you warm clothes, more long sleeves, especially, don't want to forget, I even dream about this night. Use high socks. The feet are the kingdom of the water, of the kidneys. I know the trend is use shallow socks, but it's good that the ankle is protected and the lower part of the Gemini is protected. You can use the other ones that you like with that raised up trousers, but in spring or summer. Okay. Indulge me, please. And if you have poor kidneys, energy, you should protect also the lumbar. Use big belts and protective ribs rims to protect this area. Violating these principles will result in damage to the kidneys, leading to sagging muscles and cold extremities in spring. So if you go against nature, if you don't gather, don't collect, don't nourish the inside of your body, in the next season, in spring, in summer, when you need to expand and go beyond, your body is not able to do that because it's not rested enough, it's not nourished enough, it didn't warm itself enough, the core, to expand the next seasons, spring and summer. In the spring, muscles are more susceptible to become injured because it has to be with the liver and the gallbladder. If you take care of your kidneys, your bones and your urinator bladder, now the liver, the spring would be more happy and healthy. The inability to follow the shutting and storing the correct energy in winter will weaken the adaptive capacity in spring. Spring is related to adaptation, to expansion, to adaptability, to flexibility. That can be just overcome when you nurture within. If you want to continue to expand like we did in summer, or we will get cold and flu and pains on the bones more frequently now, or if our body can withstand these winter seasons, it will make you weak the next season. Okay? Like Ling Shu says on chapter 8, in autumn and winter, cultivate the yin qi to gather and store the vital essence. Okay? The idea is to gather and store the vital essence. Very well. Let's skip some slides and let's go directly to the kidneys, because I would like to do some exercises and shake things up. The essence, and they are like the gatekeepers of the essence. Essence is like that structure that I speak to you before. The kidneys are like the coffins where you put your money. It's like the banking accounts. You have two bank accounts. One, the daily expenses, come and goes. Need to do the digestion, I waste energy from this account. Need to go to the store, I spend money from this account. And then you have the saving account. It's better you don't touch too much oftenly the saving account. The idea is to manage yourself with a regular account. That way, the money that you can spare, you can put on the saving account. The idea is to manage your daily activities, and with the energy that you end with, in the end of the day, you store in the saving account. And the kidneys do that managing. So the kidneys store the essence, they govern the reproduction and growth. Even if we're not thinking about having children, every breath, every day, millions of growing and rebirthing things are happening within. Cellular, blood, hair, eyes, every cell of the body reconstructs itself within the span of 7 years. Okay? So if you gather energy on the kidneys, if you eliminate the bad cells, they will not reproduce themselves into badly cells. That's why elimination is paramount. The kidneys govern the fluids, water, blood, sweat, tears, and the kidneys govern the reception of qi. Qi comes within the body mainly through breathing, and we associate breathing to the lungs, but not just the lungs are breathing. The lungs are the organs that catch the breath in terms of gas, but the kidneys anchor the energy of the breath. That's why masters say that we should breathe from our feet. The breath shouldn't be shallow. The breath shouldn't be superficial. Breath should have start and end from the belly, okay? From the kidneys. So if the lungs claim and bring air within our body, the kidneys should root that air. Okay? That's why Chinese and Taoists say the kidneys govern the reception of qi. The kidneys govern the yin and yang of the entire body. So the daily account is the yang kidney, the saving account is the yin kidney. Normally we die when the saving account dies. So it's better for you to manage with a daily account. Okay? And try to save from the daily to the saving account. The kidneys are the fountain of life, the root of the prenatal. So if you want to go further, if you want to go slower, if you want to go higher, if you want to go lower, if you want to change your profession, if you want to change your life, you need to eliminate, you need to go within, and you need to understand that you only find those things within yourself. Your senses are limited, and you need to go beyond your senses. And winter time is the best time to do it, because everything is within, everything is shutting and storing, and it will be more easy to find the truth within yourself. These are so important that they are considered to be like the ministers of work in a government. Yeah. Taoism and Chinese medicine always associate the organs like the government, and the kidneys are the ministers of work. They control the bones, the marrow, the brain, and the teeth. Okay? So if you want to stimulate the bones, you can tap with your teeth. That's one of the things that we are going to learn. Less appointments in the dental office. The kidneys intervenes in the blood production. So the kidneys are very important to produce the blood, because to produce the blood you need to go to the ADN, I don't know how is it called in English, ADN, DNA, and you need to go to the mother cells. Together with the suprarenals and gonads, they control sexuality, pregnancy, and procreation. The essence to do babies comes from the kidneys. The essence to reproduce comes from the kidneys. The essence to transform your old body into new body comes from the kidneys. Okay? They control the teeth and the lower orifices. So they control the ears. Okay? The windows of the kidneys are the ears. So when the energy of the kidneys is weak, your audible capacities tend to decrease. That's why from a certain age on, people start to hear poor and poorly, and seeing poorly and poorly. So each time you enhance the energy of the kidneys, each time that you engage yourself into silence, into tranquility, you are enhancing the energy of the kidneys and of the ears. If you massage the ears, we're also going to learn that if you massage the ears, you are massaging the entire body. If you are massaging your ears, you are strengthening your kidneys. You are heating up your body and saving energy from the kidneys of doing that work. Okay? The kidneys control the lower orifices. When the energy of the kidneys is not proper, it's not enough, it's not strengthened, you lose control of the lower orifices, because the lower orifices are controlled by the kidneys, the anus, the vagina, and the penis. Also, fortifying those muscles, those orifices, you are spending energy, sparing energy of the kidneys. Okay? That's why I advise in consultation to men when they are peeing to stop the urine flux and to raise the heels. That way you will strengthen the lower orifices, and then you stop and you continue. Okay? Very simple things to do, and that you can do in your daily basis. So the urinary bladder. Okay, urinary bladder. The urinary bladder, it has many names in Taoism. It's called the palace of the Clearing. Okay? The urinary bladder is where the most part of the liquids are purified and transformed. The pure parts go up and the impure parts go down. The palace of the water, the sea of jade, or also known as common fire. There are three fires within our body. There is the emperor fire associated with the heart. There are the minister fire associated with the kidneys. And there is the common fire associated with the bladder. Okay? It stores urine and it disperses the urine to the outside. Okay? So to have a rest, and because we covered the most part of things, now I propose you to get up. Let's do some breathing and some exercises. That way, when I teach you the exercises for the kidneys and the urinator bladder, it will be more easy to recognize them. And we'll also end with sitting posture, with tapping on our teeth. Okay? Matrix that is present in almost, because there's nothing in totality, in almost every Qigong exercises, is that you want to relax. Okay? And you want to move from down to up, and you want to relax from down to up. What do I mean with this? You move yourself, legs, arms, head, and you relax, legs, arms, head. That way you use the ground to activate your energy, and you use the ground to catch you, because we still are compromised with gravity. We still are compromised. Someday we will not be. Maybe in Mars or on the moon, the dark side of the moon. So, pulling down the heavens, legs, arms, and head. And relaxing, legs, arms, and head. More hints. Legs up, arms up. Shift your palms head up. And relax legs, arms, head. Although we are not aware of it, even when we want to turn our head to the left side, all the body moves. And with Qigong we try to mimic, to enhance, to potentialize that movement, the natural movement. So with pulling down the heavens, you inhale and you exhale. Because we want you to be relaxed, you start the movement inhaling. But if you need to inhale, exhale, several times, you do it. Because you need to respect yourself. And the lowering movement, you start to exhale. If you need to inhale, exhale, several times, you can do it. So raise your legs, raise your arms, relax your shoulders, raise your head, and then relax on the same manner, exhaling. Because the eyes control the mind and the mind leads the chi, you raise your eyesight to raise the energy. And you lower your eyesight to lower the energy. And you look into the ground because you want to clean, purge, purify yourself into the ground. Not just into the shoes, into the floor, but into the ground. Okay? When you go up, you are pulling earthly energy through your palms into your dantian. When you are raising the hands, you are pulling into the palms the heavenly energy into your dantian. And when you go down, you purge and clean yourself down into the earth. Okay? The movement for the kidneys. Reverence to the three Buddhas. You move and tilt your weight to the front. Just the balls of the feet. Smooth, just a tilt. Then you join your hands. And without raising your shoulders, you stretch. You can stretch the belly, the chest, and the face. But you grow up and grow down. And then you relax. Now we are going to go down to the floor. But the most important thing that should be kept aware is that you apart a little bit the tips of the toes because you want to lower your weight if you can manage to one of two things or two of two things. The knees continue in line with your feet and the feet are in touch with the ground. If you start to lose the direction of your knees, you stop. If you start to raise your heels, you stop. Because the most important thing right now is that you close yourself to the front and you expand your back and you close yourself, stretching the back. After each recollection comes an expansion. So now you start to stretch your legs from behind. And then tuck your butt under and expand like a seed. And because you want to maintain the energy in your kidneys, You open your chest and you press down. You want to maintain your energy around this area. You want to maintain the energy around your kidneys. And then you relax by retrieving the same posture with your feet and hands. Okay, just have a look. Just have a look with your arms, head, stretch, and relax. Relax even more. Legs, arms, head, closure, shutting and starting. You don't need to go like I go down. You go comfortably as you can. And then behind, stretch, unwrap, and press. Maintain the energy in the kidneys. And then the ultimate relaxation. So the channel of the kidneys start in the sole of your feet and come from within. Round the genitals and end in the clavicles. That's why you bring the energy from down to up and to the center. To the center. And then you stretch this part to bring the energy of the kidneys upstream. And then shut like a seed. Imagine yourself within the earth, gathering, 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 gathering. Hibernation. And then sprouting, full of strength from the ground up, without losing contact of your roots. And relax. Let's try it. Head. Don't raise your elbows, just stretch. Yes. Open your belly, your abdomen, your chest, your clavicles, and relax. Come to the middle. Apart a little bit the tips of your feet and go down. Meanwhile, you can handle the direction of the knees with the feet and the heels on the ground. If you need to stop here, I've been having problems with my back, and sometimes I stop here. Whenever is your limit, you stop and you go within. Stretch your back. You close the inside of the body, that is the front, and you close yourself. And then you relax and start to stretch your buttocks up and your legs and your arm, leg strings or hamstrings. And then it's then when you start to unfold and sprout like a seed, maintaining the energy, kidney level, and relax. Any doubts? Beautiful. We do this because you pay reverence to the Buddha of the heavens. And you pay reverence to the Buddha of humanity. Relax the shoulders. Humanity is heavy, I know, but relax the shoulders. And then you pay reverence to the Buddha of the earth. Earth. Closed. press the ground with your feet, with your ankles, with your legs, with your knees, with your thighs, hips, and gather enough strength to sprout and later on to grow. Okay? Sounds good? Of course, when you have back pain or when you have problems, maybe the span of the movement is not so big within the expansive part and the close and tight part. But the main goal is that you listen to your body and try to move within your limits of the day. Not, oh, when I was 20, I do like this. Now I'm 60 and I want to continue to do like when I was 20. Okay, next exercise for the bladder. Legs, arms, head. Legs, arms, head. Now bend. Bend a little bit your knees because the thing is not to gain flexibility from the legs. It's from the hips that it's the difficulty. And now you rest and bend the legs and you just raise up nice and smoothly, scooping, tucking the butt under, scooping with the spine. Don't raise your shoulders, just relax and open the chest and head. Buddha holds the temple. So it's very easy to memorize because Buddha holds the temple like this. And then comes the part that almost nobody likes, that it's bent from the hips. It's one of the biggest and widest exercise that you can do to keep yourself healthy. This bend, this movement of stretching, although it's difficult, it's very good to keep you young and healthy. Important, before you raise up, you bend the knees, you press with your legs, and you scoop. The head will be the last one to come up. Legs, arms, head. Okay? When we want to do this bend over, just look, we tend to use it with our legs stretched. And we tend to do like this. It is perfect in the beginning, but then comes the tightness and you lose what is important. That is the spine. You tend to do this. So I want to be and reach the floor, and I can do it, but I lose track of my spine. So my proposal for you is that you bend over with a little bit of bend in the knees. That way it will be more easy for you to bend from the hips and from the pelvis. Okay? Don't stretch here, stretch here. That way you can relax more easily. And to protect the lumbar area, relax the legs, press before you raise up. The head is the last one. Don't look towards me, the head is the last one. And then you scoop, you scoop, you scoop, you scoop. Okay? Let's try again. Raise legs, raise arms, raise hands. Buddha holds the temple. Try to press the ceiling with your hands and then relax. Legs, shoulders, and palms of the hands. Okay? Now, with the bended knees, stretch. You don't need to touch the floor. You don't need to reach anywhere else than yourself. And then when you want to raise up, you bend the knees a little bit more and you press with your feet, with your ankles, with your legs and knees, with your thighs and hips. You connect the pelvis, you connect the chest, and you connect the head. The bladder channel raises to the surface from the inner canthus of the eyes. It comes through the hemispheres of the brains and it goes apart to both sides of the spine. They gather again behind the knee, and from there they lower and they end in the pinky one of the foot, the pinky toe. Okay? That's why if the urinator bladder channel is behind you, is the Tai Yang, is the biggest yang, you want to bend to stretch. To stretch, to stretch. To bend properly, relax the knees and try to bend from here, like you were on the balcony of your house and you bend from here. This is the most difficult part. This is where are the most tight muscles beneath the buttocks. So you bend the knees to try to stretch. And you will be activating the back part of your body. You feel that, don't you? And then to raise up, you bend the knees, you press with the lower part of your body, and you scoop with the higher part of your body. If you need to put your hair in the proper place, or the teacher in the proper place, or something in the proper place, first go up, and then smooth your hair and put your t-shirt in the right place. Don't do it before that, okay? Because if not, you are putting movements where they are not movements. Any doubts about this exercise? Buddha holds the temple. Any doubts about the other exercise? Reference to the 3 Buddhas.
Do you have videos?
Not yet. There will be videos someday. Let's sit and let's tap with your teeth.